Hello, Hojoz here, and welcome back to another episode of Cedara Flight Competition Season 4 Flight Tests. Today, first off, we have the Dinky Daka, who has returned and has been updated with more fuel, more ammo, and some AI tweaks to make it and actually beat the H86 Longsword. Let's hope for Jolly Aerospace that he'll do it. But yeah, this is the second episode here. Don't know what I'm going to talk about there. That's the Dinky Daka and the H86 Longsword takeoff. And this, of course, no, it's actually the Dinky Daka and the H86 Longsword taking off at the same time. Funny. Cedara. And flying towards attitude. Of course, I have to engage F4. I always forget to press F4. I don't even know why that isn't standard anymore, but I always forget to press F4. The Dinky Dakas and the H86 Longswords just lining up here for battle. The Dinky Daka, of course, hoping to not be damaged, because any damage basically downs the Dinky Daka as we turn to engage. Of course, the Dinky Daka wasn't able to be modified with, for example, extra wings, because, well, the airframe itself can't really be modified. It's only the AI and, well, the fuel and that kind of stuff. So we actually engage with the Dinky Dakas and the H86 Longswords. The Longsword firing for a long time there. Personally think that's a waste of ammo, but hey, it's the H86 Longsword and it's piloted by AI. It's not my decision, as it's actually both the Dinky Dakas engaging the same H86 Longsword in a head-on, which not very, yeah, that is why you don't engage with both aircraft, because you'll basically get obliterated as soon as possible, basically. And it's again just a 2v1 for the Dinky Daka, and it's quite early in the flight test, and it's a 2v1, and it isn't going to recover from this, is it? Nope. Wasn't even looking to be able to be recovered, actually, as it was just wobbling around, not even trying to pull up. And it's actually an easier win for the H86 Longswords this time. Huh. I guess that was simply because, well, the Dinky Dakas were, of course, engaging the same aircraft at the beginning of the match. And, well, that is, of course, one of the reasons why you can get beaten. Engaging one aircraft with both your friendly aircraft is not so smart, and I hope it will be fixed in the next version of BDAC, which I've heard from Dundon93. They're already beta testing. Anyway, it's again a loss from the Dinky Daka, and it's again unlucky. It's again an unlucky loss from the Dinky Daka, as it once again cannot do anything about its bad luck and poor AI choices. Let's move on to the next aircraft. Oh god, this is very noisy. This DU-11 BLK-15 by Dundon92 is very, very noisy, because it has a total amazing amount of 10 engines into the back of this lovely, lovely airframe. Just look at it. It looks so awesome. And it uses Vulcans too. And today it will be the fourth craft facing flight tests on this 3rd of November 2018. Yes, that's one day before submissions close time. I haven't really planned this well. But yeah, the U11B, the LK15 looking to beat the H86 longswords. And since this is an air superiority competition craft, I'm expecting nothing but domination, as I'll probably be having to shout, because just hear all those fucking engines! Right, warning headphone users, very late warning for headphone users. These engines are loud, because it's 10 engines, and those engines are very loud. Well, it surely does get the Jeremy Clarkson seal of approval, because it supports a lot and a lot of power. And by the way, it was of course the first to take off. H86 longsword taken off long after it. And it is time to engage. And just look at the turn time of the DU11. I have no doubt that this will be able to beat the H86 longsword. It'll just come down to gun accuracy this time. Because come on man, that maneuverability it surely can't lose. And just the speed too. The speed, power. Lovely to see this thing fly. And we are coming into engagement range. And there go the Vulcans. Oh, what? The U11 dives away immediately. The wingman there. Wow. I mean, the maneuverability on these. I love them already. And it's just a flight test, mate. I haven't even seen them in the competition properly. And it's going to fire on this longsword surely. And there it goes. 1500 meters is all it takes for those guns to fire. Come on man. Come on man, you can do this. Lovely late burst. Oh, just look at how close it is there. Look at how close the DU11 came. Then H86 longsword. As the second DU11. Come on man, get those guns higher. I know you can do it, just a little slight bit. As the longsword does the longsword dance. Come on man, you can do it. I trust in you, DU11, then the 92, DU11. Ah, that longsword's not long for this world. Is it going to crash? Barely doesn't crash. Wow. Ah, come on, come on. I'm pretty surprised that DU11 hasn't already just taken out longswords. Well, there's a pretty obvious flaw here. Except the DU11 is too fast for the longsword. It's too fast for the longsword. And that means that you have less gun time on the longsword, less time to fire guns, there's less chance to hit. But it also has a plus to ammo conservation as there, the obvious and, well, not sustainable damage of the tail, and characteristic damage of the tail I should have said, goes for the H86 longsword as it crashes into the ground. And it is surely over for the H86 longswords as there the second tail goes. And a few short bursts should be all it takes. You just have to land one of them. I know you can do it, right? Yeah, it's the tail, and it's just always the same damage with this longsword, and it always just amazingly pulls back from like 500 meters. Oh wait, well I've actually seen 75 meters, the lowest this thing has gotten before being able to fly up again. The U11 is both behind the longsword actually, because the longsword crashed. And come on, I am very confident that you can just place your guns nicely here, place your aircraft nicely here. Oh, come on, that should have been a hit. It should have been a hit. Come on, honestly, yeah, that should have been a hit. Let's just flying with the longsword for a little bit here, because DU11s, well, they're gonna get on the tail of this one eventually. And it's pretty useless to follow 2 DU11s around that are constantly too fast for this HJ6 longsword, which is struggling for control. As there the DU11 goes on its 6 once more. And they will probably out-accelerate the longsword again. These bullets, they're coming so close to the longsword. This pretty much shows the importance of having a very, very tiny target, very tiny aircraft in the guns competition. As the longsword, wow, are you actually going to try to fire on the DU11 here? I think it is. I think it is. It's out of guns range now. Come on. Nope, it's going to have to avoid the DU11. Another DU11 on its back. Nope, it just flies away, I guess. Yeah, the DU11s are way too quick to annihilate the HJ6 longsword. As it turns out, speed sometimes is not your ally, but most certainly your intake is. And if you lose your intake, you lose your ability to pull up, your ability to fight, and your engines. As all that remains is a cockpit with a few wings attached, and some anti-3 cannons. And of course the weapon manager and AI. But those are always for your cockpit, aren't they? Or at least on the central part, buried within the cockpit. Yeah, so long for this world. The DU11 passes flight inspection and annihilates the HJ6 longsword. Congratulations, done on 92 in your first approved entry. Up next, the DU4. And now that we look at the DU4, let's be honest here, it's a change of strategy from Dun 92, as it's just one Tiger engine and a whole lot of wings. And it's just very much the lightest fighter alive. As this will be a fun craft to see battle against the HJ6 longsword. A battle which will begin right now. Come on, mate. This will just be very interesting. And they take off so nicely. They take off nicely, and they take off a slight bit before the longswords. I couldn't spot that one. As this is just a change of pace from that very loud DU11. Just one engine. Just appreciate the lack of noise. I'm just appreciating the lack of noise in my end. As it is time to engage. And oh boy, the DU4 is a turner. Oh boy, the DU4 is a turner. But it lost quite a lot of speed. Maybe that'll be its flaw in the first season of Cedara fighter competition. But yeah, this ASC fighter has of course been tuned to handle anything. As we're actually fastly approaching these longswords. As there the gunfire goes. Oh boy, that's very loud gunfire towards you compared to the engines. Nice change of pace. As it, oh so lovely. It's just pretty much turns instantly towards the longswords. That's just very satisfying. I gotta be honest with you, that's just very satisfying. And yeah, it's, as I guessed, it switched targets. Oh boy! Barely avoided the mid-air collision. And that's actually the DU4 concentrated on one longsword. Boy, they're both concentrated on one longsword. That's how confident they are in winning. Yeah, this is not a very good decision by the DU4. as they both engage one craft, but this DU4 breaks off since, well, it finally realized that gunfire from the longsword's wingman isn't very good, and it just turns oh so lovely on that longsword. It fires its guns. It appears to be slightly too far away from the longsword, at least at this point. This damage. It's so close, yeah, there's the tail. And that is one of the wings. That's as far as I can see, one of the wings. And that DU4 just turned oh so lovely on the longsword. Oh boy. Isn't this just satisfying? And a nice change of pace from the other DU craft, the other Dynamite 2 craft. Yeah, this is just satisfying. Oh, lovely, lovely, very close quarters. Gunfire and doing damage towards the longsword. That's just, I mean, this craft has won a place in my heart. As it's just oh so lovely. I mean, the maneuverability is on point. And the speed is on point. It's just all on point. This DU4, it's all on point. And annihilates the longsword. Oh, so quickly. Oh boy. That's the fastest I've seen a longsword being annihilated in this entire flight test experience. That was just oh so satisfying. As the DU4 takes it in, I swear, less than 5 minutes. And it scores a landslide victory over the H86 longsword. And it really does deserve its spot in this 4th season of the Cedara Fight competition. On to the next craft. And the next craft is the Hammerhead Interceptor by Random User Mayo, which needed a slight bit of landing gear adjustments after this happened in the first test. Wobbling a bit. Oh boy, yeah. Pretty much just an issue with the landing gear. Eventually it just turned out that I had to move the landing gear forward on the wing, and I also moved it upwards a little bit because I always put my rear landing gear a slight bit higher than my front landing gear. I mean, I also put my center of lift a bit higher than my center of mass because, well, takes off quicker that way. Maybe it's actually disadvantageous to the craft to make nowadays, but I've not seen any disadvantages from that. But yeah, anyway, I'm not talking about my own craft here. It is of course the Hammerhead Interceptor built by Random User Mayo, which will now have to face the H86 longsword in its flight test. Yeah, it begins rather slow because of that whiplash engine. And that allows the longswords to take off before the Hammerhead Interceptors. But hey, at least the Hammerhead Interceptors take off now and don't just crash straight into the ground. I'll take credit for that. And yeah, I'm very happy with that. Oh yeah, new recording day, I have to press F4 again. Why isn't this enabled by standard? Does not make sense, AO, Kerbal Space Program. Does not make sense, AO. And we are starting to engage right now with those 4 MT-30s mounted on the Hammerhead Interceptor, as well as the 4 MT-30s mounted on the H86 longsword. And as you can see, the Interceptor is having a slight bit of issues maneuvering and pitching up especially, because, well, I've taken a look in the VAB actually, and the center of lift is below the center of mass, which is weird. But hey, there we go, engaging the guns right now on the H86 longswords, and nothing hits and it's actually all shots miss by a mile, as the Hammerhead interceptors get turned towards the HJ86 longswords. But I'm very confident that by the time the Hammerhead interceptors reach the HJ86 longswords, that the HJ86 longswords have turned around as well, as another bit of firing goes on from those anti-30s on the Hammerhead interceptor and the HJ86 longsword, both of them firing at each other. As this Hammerhead interceptor gets turned once again and actually moves down on the bottom HJ86 longsword, which was just starting to climb up. Nice move, Hammerhead interceptor, nice move. Anyway, Hammerhead interceptor has no yaw control surface. Odd. Some more firing there from the anti-30s. It's a slight bit unstable on firing, which should be of a slight bit of concern. And it looks to be aiming very low. But as long as it gets the hits, it'll pass flight inspection, doesn't it? Well, it has already passed flight inspection, it just has to beat the HJ86 longsword. I mean, if you don't beat the HJ86 longsword, you're allowed to modify the craft. As, yeah, here, Hammerhead interceptor actually disengages as for a slight bit with the HJ86 longsword. That could very well be crucial. As, well, it won't be running out of fuel soon, I see. Come on, man. You can just get those guns on point. It's not the best at aiming, is it? Oh god. Yeah, it's driving that longsword into the ocean, but the longsword could pull up in time, and it's actually aiming towards one of the Hammerhead interceptors. Ooh, may not turn out to go well. As there actually the longsword fires on the Hammerhead interceptor, and the other longsword's also firing on the Hammerhead interceptor. This is going south quick for Random User Mayo. Come on. Yeah, the longsword isn't the best at aiming either, you can see here. In the background. By the way, I'm focusing on the background. It's a slight bit stupid, I know. But yeah, that's pretty much more interesting. Let's switch to the other Hammerhead interceptor. It has taken a slight bit of hits from the HJ86 longsword, but nothing that has exploded anything on the interceptors yet. As the longsword is really close to the Hammerhead interceptors. As well, actually the other interceptor is firing at this longsword, which is rather odd. Oh, the longsword got in front of the interceptor there. Ooh. Oops. But yeah, it's pretty clear actually that the interceptor is not faring all too well against the longswords. I mean, it can still go for a victory based on fuel or ammo count, but that's basically it. It can't really get its guns on the longsword, and to be honest, I want to blame the center of lift position in relation to the center of mass for that. The center of lift being below the center of mass, and this creating an issue with pitching up on the Hammerhead interceptor. Come on, man. Yeah, this longsword isn't too good at maneuvering either, as you can see. The longsword having to disengage because it couldn't keep up in the pitch turn, or the, well, just the turn there. And it's going for another attempt on the interceptor's life here. But not this one, I guess. Or has it just overshot? See how the other Hammerhead interceptor is doing. It is actually flying towards both the longswords. That longsword here having a really high position, which is weird. Now both the Hammerhead interceptors have gotten clear of the longswords, or yeah, I've pretty much spoken too soon there. But it does allow for more options for the Hammerhead Interceptor to engage the longswords, as yeah, that's also one of the disadvantages of placing control surfaces on the bottom of your craft, especially if they're roll control surfaces. It rolls weirdly, it just rolls weirdly. As yeah, this is actually the Interceptor firing on the longsword, and it gets the tail. Nice job, Hammerhead Interceptor, but it has taken a very, very long time for you. I mean, it could just come down on fuel, couldn't it? As actually the longswords having only a slight bit of ammo left and a slight bit of liquid fuel. Oh, that isn't looking too well for the longswords. And seeing as one of the longswords is damaged now, it'll actually be a victory for the Hammerhead Interceptor by means of the other side ran out of fuel, and that's pretty dumb. As we know, the longsword not having all that much fuel on board, and well, the Interceptor does have a lot of fuel on board, which doesn't really help for the maneuvering cause either, as one of the longswords actually fires it straight down into the air. And surely now the Hammerhead Interceptor can score a very, very easy victory, because it's a 2v1, and yes, nice job, other Hammerhead Interceptor. That tail of the other longsword is also gone, and surely the longsword is not living too long now, as it's going to run out of fuel pretty soon, and has already run out of ammo. Oh boy, this hasn't been a good second part of the round for the H86 longsword. I thought actually that the Hammerhead Interceptor was losing the round, but apparently it wasn't. And it was a very, very good second part of the round. The Hammerhead Interceptor just lasting longer than the H86 longsword and being able to score those crucial hits when it mattered. Lovely job by the Hammerhead Interceptors, as they will pass the CFC Season 4 flight tests. Lovely job. Absolutely lovely job. I mean, it was just pretty much at the last second before the H86 longsword ran out of fuel that its tail got taken out, and it pretty much stood no chance against the Hammerhead Interceptors anymore, as there the nose cone goes. And there actually the cockpit blows up as well, as the Hammerhead Interceptors pretty much secure their victory. Let's head on to the next craft, which is a lovely craft by Jolly Roger Aerospace. But it is the question if this craft by Jolly Roger Aerospace is actually up to the task, because you've seen the previous craft from him having it very, very difficult to beat the H86 longsword. Well, let's just quickly go to the next craft and to the runway once more. And for the final craft of today, it'll be Jolly Roger Aerospace once again. But today it will be the JRA X1B, not the Dinky Dakka. Let's see how this fares in flight tests, as it has also been updated, and I can't quite put my finger on it, but it looks looks beautiful. It looks better than last time, and I actually don't know why, as we get competition going, and we're going to see if the H86 longsword will beat the JRA X1B for the final craft, for the final flight test of today, and of course then the final craft. There's actually the JRA X1B and the H86 longsword taking off at the same time, so I just quickly like to address the landing gear placement here. It's pretty interesting where the landing gear is placed. But yeah, this is just JRA X1B is just a very beautiful craft with the X15 cockpit, I believe that is. Very cool that, the X15 cockpit. And we are actually already at engagement range as the JR-X1Bs turn towards the H86 longswords. And they will fire the gun soon. Now, what am I going to fill the time with? Well, it's going to be the last race of this season next week at Abu Dhabi. It's Formula 1. As we already engage, and it is the JR-X1B with some very, very interesting maneuvers here. It will most certainly look to get on the H86 longsword's tail, as it is actually doing it right now. I mean, it pulls some interesting maneuvers, but it did a great job at getting towards the H86 longsword, as the H86 longsword is actually firing on the other JR-X1B, which is firing on the other H86 longsword. We have a nice death train going here, as it is actually JR-X1B firing on the H86 longsword with the M230s mounted on the craft, and I had heard some explosions, and I don't know whether it's a longsword or a JR-X1B that took some damage there, because we're not on board with it. Anyway, it is the tail of the H86 longsword gone right now. And it will be looking, the JR-X1B will be looking to make it a quick one this time, as it actually didn't do that last time. And it's actually the X1Bs taking out the other H86 longsword's tail too. It is going great for the X1Bs right now. And you have to say, will it ever go wrong with this craft? Well, judging by those maneuvers that it pulled at the beginning of the engagement, maybe there's a slight bit of instability on the craft that will hamper it in the actual competition. Anyway, it's this 1XB firing on the H86 longsword with the damaged tail, although that's not a distinction anymore, as both H86 longswords have damage on their tail, or actually have completely gone tail shot off by the JR-X1Bs, as the other JR-X1B is circling around and going for the H86 longsword, which looks to be crashing into the ground. But it isn't. Well, of course it isn't crashing into the ground, because knowing the reputation of the H86 longsword, it's never actually going to crash into the ground. It only looks like it, especially if it still has engines. Well, I mean, a craft that I inspected earlier, but will be going later in the video, in the next video actually, that managed to get both the longswords into the ground without actually doing any damage, which is pretty funny. But that's not actually this video, as the other JR-X1B is also firing on H86 longsword, and this second part of the battle is looking to be very difficult, as one X1B actually got hit by one of the H86 longswords. And I don't know what got hit there, as one of the longswords explodes, and it won't be long before the JR-X1B succeeds at the flight tests, as they both dive to get the H86 longsword, but they both fail at getting the H86 longsword, as the H86 longsword is actually aiming its 4 M230s towards an X1B. But it won't matter, as the X1B behind it is already firing on it. And surely it's going to hit soon. Come on, man. You can hit this. You can hit this piece of shit. Yeah, you can most certainly try to hit this craft, JR-X1B, as it's actually the H86 longsword trying to get a shot off, but in that actually fucks over its entire craft. And I saw one X1B spiraling out of control. What's the damage on it? I must see where the damage is. I can't really see it though. What is missing from one of the JR-X1Bs? I mean, it doesn't matter, since the longsword's pretty much crashing into the ground, and it's actually a flight test pass from the JRX-1B, but I just wonder what the damage is on one of those X-1Bs. Anyway, it is the H-86 Longsword crashing into the ground, and it's a flight test pass from the JRX-1B on the second try. It wouldn't have mattered anyway if it didn't pass, because Hojoz Aerospace demanded that both craft be passed anyway. Talking about anyways, we'll have to go to the outro of today, which is of course bureaucratic, but voiceable. Hope you enjoyed the video.